All right, so now this is a little bit different than the last one. You could set up proportions again, I guess, if you wanted to, but guess what we could do? Well, you couldn't really, because to solve for x, you'd have to go x to z, and you can't really do that. But you could do this. You could solve for either z just by itself with this one triangle right here. And we just talked about that yesterday. We got a right triangle. We have two sides, so what can you do to find the side of the missing side of a right triangle? Pythagorean theorem, that's right. And look at this. This is an 8, and this is a 10. We talked about this yesterday. Without doing really much math at all, you should be able to figure out what z is just by looking at it. What do you think? Mark, do you know what that is? If this is 8 and this is 10, what's this side going to be right here if it's a right triangle? You could go through the whole Pythagorean theorem if you wanted to. But look, what do they both have in common? What do 10 and 8 both have in common? They have a 2, right? So if I divided this by 2, I'd get a 5. Divided this by 2, I'd get a 4. So does you recognize it? 3, 4, 5 triangle. You ever heard of a 3, 4, 5 triangle? So what's this going to be? It's not going to be 3. What's it going to be? It's just going to be 6. Remember I said you might see that on the SAT, and it'd be a lot quicker. Just look at it and recognize what it is. Now you got Z, hardly any work at all, right? Always look for that. Every once in a while they'll chuck that in there, and it's good to be able to just recognize it and say, oh yeah, that's a 6. 6, 8, 10, 3, 4, 5. If you want to do Pythagorean theorem just to show me that, you know, that does work, that's fine. You could do that if you want. What about x now? Now we have to solve for x.
Would be 7 over 10 equals x over 8.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that again. And yeah, let's do it like that. Or you could do what else? Without even using a proportion, just using this triangle itself.
You could do like 3, 4, 5 thing.
Yeah, Pythagorean theorem. Okay, you could do Pythagorean theorem if you wanted to, couldn't you? Okay, but since we're new at this ratio thing, let's just do the ratio just to practice it a little bit. Well, you got a calculator, so it can't be that hard, right? If you have a calculator. But you are right. I mean, it would be a little bit more tedious, right? Because you have to use a calculator. With this way, you may not have to use a calculator at all. So what was our ratio again? Our proportion? Yeah, 7 over 10. That's our scale factor. Now, if I go small to big, I'm going to go x to what? Yeah, no, not to 8. Because look, x is opposite the vertical angle. So 6 is opposite this vertical angle. So the x and the 6 go together. Right? So x goes with 6. Now this works out pretty nice and easy, doesn't it? Multiply both sides by 6. Multiply this by 6. I'll tell you what, let's just reduce this. What goes into that? 2 goes into that 5 times. 2 goes into that 3 times. So what do you get? 21 over 5. Well, actually, or you could have just done this. You could have just said 42 over 10, right? Since we're going decimals. So what's 42 divided by 10? It's just 4.2. Right? And that's what x is. It's 4.2. So there's y, and there's x, and there's z. What do you think? It's not too hard, is it? Once you find the scale factor, and you know which ones correspond to what, it's pretty easy. I got like a couple minutes left. Let's try one more type. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's run through this again. I've got two triangles, this little one, the big one. Both are right angles. They both share this bottom angle right here. So they are both similar triangles. Let's put some numbers on here. Oh, the bells don't ring, do they? I'll tell you what. We'll just do this tomorrow because the bell does ring. We'll do this tomorrow. Finish it up. Now, on that lesson 2, try to do some of those problems. Okay, 3. Sorry, I keep saying 2. Lesson 3. Try some of those problems. Because you don't want to wait for one day to do every single problem, all right? So make sure you go through them and use it wisely.